Hoi Hoi and welcome back to Genshin Impact. In the last episode, I did a quest. Yeah, so I have to find Star Splinter Iron now. But interestingly enough, there's a new gacha rotation. Interestingly, containing Miss Lawyer, Rosaria, and the Wanderer. Okay, so the Wanderer is a wind-based character. I will try gacha for both of them once. But first I kind of want to test them out to see which one I should be most excited about. I already have Rosaria, but that's a good opportunity to test her full strength. So let's start with Yanfei. Okay, when a fireball conjured by Yanfei's normal attack hits an opponent, it grants her a Scarlet Seal that decreases her stamina consumption. Okay. Upon releasing a charge attack, all Scarlet Seals will be consumed, increasing the AoE and damage of this charge attack based on the amount of Scarlet Seals consumed. Yanfei's elemental skill deals AoE, pyro damage, and grants her the maximum number of Scarlet Seals. Her elemental burst also deals AoE, pyro damage, and causes her to gain brilliance, which increases the damage dealt by her charge attacks and grant Yanfei a Scarlet Seal at fixed intervals. Okay, so she is a fire mage? Yeah, she seems to be a fire mage, which is great. But she seems to be based around charge attacks, which I'm not really a fan of. But her charge attack seems faster than that of Lisa. Okay, she can deal up to double damage with her charged if she has 3 stacks. She will. Okay, this was 20,000, but I think that was a crit. That's 80,000, yeah, so she can deal lots of damage. Okay, I didn't saw how much damage that did. It's hard to see how much damage it deals if there are so many enemies. Okay, 8,000 and an additional 2,000? 5,000 and another 2,000, okay. Okay, it's not that much more damage. It could be that this enemy is fire resistance, this guy, because he uses pyro himself. But it will deal like 50% more damage. I definitely like her elemental skill better than Lisa's, but it doesn't mean much because you can't really compare a pyro mage with an electric mage. If I get her, I will definitely use her instead of Amber, because having a fire mage is much more useful than having a fire archer for what I want to do. Okay. let's test Rosaria. I mean, I already know that Rosaria is a hyper carry with her crit, has a hyper carry potential with her crit, beast crit. So I don't really need to read her skills. Okay, so her third instance base attack seems crazy because she does 2 attacks in a rapid succession. So probably a good strategy to go for the third instance and then I'm unsure. Yeah, I haven't used her ability yet. Okay, so this will pulsate and deal ice damage, which is probably a good strategy if you want to switch to a different character. Right, so for example, if I pair her up with Lisa, I can use the ultimate, then switch to Lisa, and then use the ultimate within the ultimate to deal lots of AoE damage. Also, I can keep those mages permanently frozen, which is great because they are so annoying. Ow. Okay, I'm almost dead. Okay. So I like Rosaria's skills definitely better than Kaya's skill. I mean, Kaya's elemental skill is great, but his ultimate is a bit meh. Okay. Let's... no. Oh, there's a new hangout event with Kaya. So a new hangout event for Kaya. Okay. Farusan. She is wind, so I'm not really fond of wind, and she's from Sumeru. Okay, let's try out. Farusan will enter the Manifest Gale state after unleashing her elemental skill. While in this state, her next fully charged shot will become a hurricane arrow. So she's an archer? Which creates a pressurized collapse effect to the targeted. The effect will burst after a short delay before dealing AoE animo damage, and pulling nearby objects and opponents in. Farusan's elementals burst deploy a dazzling polyhedron that deals AoE animo damage. The polyhedron will continuously move along a triangular path, and once it reaches each corner of the triangular path, it will unleash a whirlwind pulse that decreases the opponent's animo resistance. And grants all nearby party members animo damage. This is interesting. So, the problem with a Wind Archer is that Wind Archers are probably the most useless archers. Because the purpose of Wind is to spread element to other enemies. I mean, like, okay, I can do this. This is pretty useful to apply this, but that's like not a generic case, right? Like in most cases, you don't really have multiple enemies with different elements. But in this case, Archer is fine, right? But normally what you want to do is apply an element with another character, then probably use a skill to... my brain is dead, sorry. And then use the skill to apply all the elements to another character and then switch to a third character to do a mass elemental reaction. Okay. Okay, I don't know, her ultimate is weird. Yeah, her ultimate is pretty weird. Her ultimate can be useful, but it has to be paired with really good AoE elemental. I don't know what I would call them. Elemental field creator or something like this. Ow. Ow. Okay, I'm almost dead. Yeah, but here, this character is much better. The martial artist. He's a much cooler anime character. So I don't think I would care about her if I get her. I would actually be very sad if I get her. Because she doesn't seem to be that great. At least for my playstyle. Okay, but maybe the Wanderer is more interesting. The Wanderer can fly, which is interesting. By unleashing his elemental skill, the Wanderer will enter the wind-favored set and leap into the air. After unlocking the talent Yade claimed flower, when the Wanderer comes into contact with Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, Electro, when leaping, he will obtain buffs according to the contacted element, okay? The Wanderer's elemental burst compresses the atmosphere into a vacuum that deals multiple instances of AoE animal damage, okay? Yeah, obviously he's a mage. This is actually a good, or like an interesting attack, because he seems to have a very high range. Okay, but his range isn't infinite. So, which is interesting. Okay, but the problem is it's auto-aim. Auto-aim abilities, I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks. So I have to be close to the enemies anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. Because I have to aim at which enemy I want to use swirl on, right? Like, hitting an enemy that doesn't have an element applied to him with wind is kinda useless. So now I can fly, but I can only fly for a short period of time, right? Yeah, it's not really that long. Okay, that seems cool. I don't know if I want to play the Wanderer. I think he probably has lots of utility with the flying ability, but so has other 5-star wind characters. But I probably prefer this one over Venti. Nothing against Venti, but it's more against archers than against Venti, probably. I used to have Venti when on my first playthrough, which is kind of interesting because I had, I think, 2 5-star characters. One was Jean and the other one was Venti, so I had 2 5-star anime characters, which doesn't feel great. He also seems to have an interesting personality. I'm curious if we meet him. I think he's from Inazuma. It would make sense if he's from Inazuma. So we might meet him once we go for Inazuma. Alright, so let's take a look. This is... Oh no, this is in the Ashavan realm. Huh. Okay, so... He's pretty far away then. Right, because this is Sumeru? This is Leo. This is Leo still. This is Sumeru. This is also Sumeru. Okay, so wrong direction. So then this is Inazuma. This is Inazuma too. Okay, so I have no idea where he is then. Is there another map? Oh no, it's here. He's from Sumeru, okay. It's the Lokapala jungle, which is in Sumeru. There are only 4 nations? That kind of feels weird. So I started playing this game again because I thought it was finished. Right, like I've heard that the main story was finished, but now it feels weird to me that only 4 nations are 4? No, 5, right? No, 4. 4 nations can be visited. So maybe the main story is finished, but the game isn't finished. Finished for a very long time. Which feels weird to me because they already released the new game, right? Honkai Star Rail? But maybe there are different teams working on this game. Or maybe the main developer, after they released Genshin Impact, went to a new project, and then the developer which are now working on Genshin Impact more about maintaining and expanding the content. This could also be because usually developer or publisher have multiple developer teams which have different purpose. Right, so but I don't think that this game is now into maintenance mode because there's still new stuff being released, right? I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so the last one seems to be a water mage. Okay, let's try her. Words of Wisdom. Sangonomiya Kokumi. Kokumi's elemental skill summons forth a Bake Kurage created from water that will restore HP for nearby character. So she is a healer too. Is she an offensive healer? Or is she a supportive healer? I don't know. I hope I'm not getting her because I already have Barbara. That's what I read from the first sentence. It applies the wet status to nearby opponents. When Kokumi uses her elemental burst, she deals hydro damage to nearby opponents and dons her ceremonial garb, which temporarily increases the damage dealt by her normal and charge attacks. Okay, so she might be a damage dealer. Like, supportive, similar to Jean, which can heal but is focused around damage. Her elemental burst can also enhance the Bake Kurage, allowing it to deal AoE hydro damage additional elemental. Okay. Yeah, she's a water mage. Oh, she also has a high range. I don't think this is something. I don't think I want her. Based on what I see right now, I don't think. Not about the visuals, but about her build. I don't think she is something that that's some character that I want. So this is a summon, right? So the summon will heal me. It will follow me? No, it doesn't follow me. Okay, and it will also give me this bubble, which probably deals damage then. Okay, maybe she has an advantage over Barbara because I can use the skill, right? The skill, and then switch to a different character and I still get healed. That's probably the advantage she has over Barbara. So maybe I will use her instead of Barbara if I get her. Okay, so this is my ultimate. Ultimate is more about damage. And now it enhances... Yeah, it enhances my elemental skill, which will now deal damage. Oh, big guy. Okay, does the bubble deal physical damage? Yeah, it does. That's interesting. So she's a mage that is able to deal physical damage. That can be useful. Okay. I'm almost level 45 in Adventurer rank, which is also great. Okay. Claim, 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 claim. Okay, let's take a look. Who do I want to have? Kokomi? Yeah, she will definitely replace Barbara, but I don't think that I kinda want her, because if I get her, she will just fulfill the same role as Barbara. Maybe it makes me fighting against Pyro Slimes easier, because Pyro Slimes are like the one enemy I struggle most against, since I just don't have a reliable way to deal with them, because I'm not using ice or characters, or like my water characters aren't really that interesting. Like a defensive character and a healer, it's not really that interesting. I kind of want to take a look at her talents. Summons a Bake Kurage, created from water that can heal her allies. Using the skill will apply the red status. Yes. Okay, this is something Barbara does too. If she uses her elemental skill, she applies the red status to her, which is not that great. Like, if you are under the effect of Pyro, it can diffuse Pyro, because the damage Vaporize deals is based on the damage the attack itself deals. So since this skill doesn't deal damage to me, it will just get Pyro away without dealing damage to me. So that's a good way. But other things might work differently. Okay, regeneration is based on max HP, but it doesn't say if it's based on our max HP or the max HP of the character. Okay, her ultimate also deals damage based on HP, so it's probably her max HP. So she is not a damage dealer, but she's based on HP, similar to Barbara. Kogumi's normal attack, charge attack, and Kurage DMG are increased based on her max HP. If she uses her ultimate. Okay, so you probably want lots of HP on her. While donning the ceremonial garment created by Nerite's Ascension, the normal and charge attack damage bonus Kogumi gains based on her max HP will receive a further increase based on 15% of her healing bonus. Okay, so if you increase her healing bonus, which you probably would, because there's a healing set, this increases her... it's kind of weird. You could go for the water set, which will give you 15% more water damage. But this is 15% of a healing bonus, which is 15% of a percentage value, right? So, let's take a look at what the set does. So, Barbara has this set, right? Yeah, maidens. So, character healing effectiveness by 15%. Which means the passive increases the damage by 15% of... Oh, one moment, please. Hello. Yeah. Okay, that was the delivery package. Okay, so where was I? Right, so 50% of 50%. That is not much. So if I want to go for her on damage, I would rather have the water set. Yeah, so for her I will definitely go on the water set if I get her. There's also another stat. Yes, the physical damage bonus. I used the Maiden's one on him because of the physical damage bonus as a throwaway artifact. There was... I remember artifacts can roll with healing bonus. I kind of want to see how much it is. I don't know which artifact it is. Yeah, healing bonus. It's level 7 and has already a healing bonus of 15%. So let's assume I get an artifact with healing bonus and get the set bonus. I assume it's an additive value, so I would have like 15% plus those 15%. I don't know how much it is. Let's assume it goes on at level 20. It's it could be 30% at level 20. It could even be more. But the problem is 15%. So if I don't get a healing bonus of over 100%, then water set will always deal more damage. But healing is also important. So the bonus of healing might be good enough. But I don't think I want the maiden set on her. What I want is probably the water set, or maybe a different set. There are multiple water sets. And I want have one item with healing bonus on her, and the rest maybe HP, and one is defense. Yeah, right. Okay, I kind of want to take another... Oops. I kind of want to take another look on the preview. So her 4.4% on her max HP. Skill damage, 10% of her max HP, normal attack bonus. And this is just level 1, so it increases. So she get 5% of her max HP, which is actually a lot because they have lots of HP, right? Like she can have like 20, let's assume she has 20,000 HP. I mean, my character currently has 17,000 HP and I haven't really skilled him on HP. So maybe she might have around 50,000 HP maxed out. And 10% of 50,000 is 5,000. That would mean that her base attacks just to her ultimate would deal 5,000 damage more. That's crazy. That's really crazy. If it works the way I assume it does. Okay, maybe I'm thrilled for her. Okay, let's take a look at Wanderer. The Wanderer. Wanderer! What do you want from me? Huh? Why are you looking at me? I like this pose, it's so funny. Yeah, it only has a 3-hit combo, which is interesting. Skill damage, yeah. So he deals 5 times. I don't know, wait, what? Okay, what is Kuguru Yoko points? Okay, this ability is kinda useless. I mean, it is not bad, but you probably want something else. It is. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really a fan. Abilities that decreases the cost or increases money or experience gains are usually not something you want. They are good for farming, so they are good if you have them early on. But if you want to min-max something, they are kind of counterproductive. But the thing is, I don't know what other characters have instead of this. I think Kaya, for example, has stamina reduction, which is much more useful even later on. A stamina reduction for sprinting, not for dodging. Okay, when the Wanderer hits opponents with Kugo, Fushudan, or Kugo, what? With Kugo. Oh, no power! Tofukai is in his wind favored state. He has... This, I don't understand the word. He has a 16% chance to apply the descent effect. The descent effect. The next time the Wanderer accelerates in midair while in this instant of the wind favored state, this effect will be removed. This acceleration instant will not consume any Kugo Ryoka points, which is probably his timer for how long he can stay in air. He will fire off 4 wind arrows that deal 35% of his attack as anemo damage. Okay, he scales definitely with attack. Ooh, I don't know about that. A wind character that scales with attack? You probably don't want... You probably prefer Elemental Mastery over attack on an anemo character. Okay, I think I want the water girl more than him. Do I have to talk about her? Okay, let's take a look at her preview. So what does she scale with? Probably with the anemo damage bonus. Alright, when she uses her ultimate, other anemo characters will deal more damage. She's an archer. This is something I have to consider. Because if I use her ultimate, like if she were a mage, this would be great, right? If I use her ultimate, she will deal straight up 18% more damage. But I have to charge up her base attack to deal additional damage. Which is not that bad, because charge attacks can deal lots of damage. And it might be even better than having a mage, but I'm not really a fan of the bow or the... If I can decrease the time it takes for the bow to be fully charged, then I would be more interested in this. But I don't know, Anemo... If this were a water character or like any other element, and it had this ability with bow, then it would be much better than if it's Anemo. A water archer with this ability could deal really high damage if you apply Vaporize. Gain 25% more rewards when dispatched on a Sumeru expedition for 20 hours. This is an ability... For this ability, I probably want her. Not because it's a... I mean, it's... Like I said earlier, it's a farming ability, so you don't really want this for min-maxing. But I don't have to use her. I don't need to have her in my party to apply this talent. This is why this is a much better talent than... I mean, I don't need to have the Wanderer in my party, but if I get the Wanderer, he's a strong character and I want to use him. So his ability makes them less useful than other characters. This character, however, I don't want to use her, so her talent makes her actually more useful to me. And makes her more interesting to me. Okay, when Faruzan is in manifest scale state created by Windwhelm of Nashimi. Was is this ability? She will, okay, she deals Animo. So when I use this ability, the amount time taken to charge a shot is... Okay, yes, this is what I meant. This is great. This is great. So I use her ultimate, use her skill. How long? 18 seconds. And then for the next 80 seconds, I can deal lots of Animo damage with her as an archer. But, yet again, if this were a water character, this would be much more interesting. At least against pyro enemies. Like, any other element would be better than Animo for this kind of build, because Animo's purpose is to apply swirl, so Animo scales best with elemental mastery, based on my understanding of this game. Okay. And she can apply the Wind's Secret Ways Bale to opponents who are hit by the vortex. Okay, I have no idea what this means. When the Whirlwind Pulse is unleashed, it will apply Pyrosis Wind Spell to lower opponent's decrease. Okay, so... Okay, she can decrease the wind resistance of other enemies. The more I read about this character, it kind of feels to me that this character was created just to make Animo look better than it currently looks, at least for me. Because her abilities make Animo damage as a standalone pretty good. Animo damage is a supportive element. It's an offensive supportive element. But she makes it look like that Animo can hold its own if it wants to. So she might be an interesting character. But I don't think I'm going to use her if I get her. If I want to fight an enemy without changing the character, then she is definitely a good source. But usually I fight strong characters by switching between two mages. This is usually the better strategy, since it can deal lots of damage within a short period of time. But that means I have to invest into two characters simultaneously to get the most benefit on it. She can completely defeat big guys on her own. So... yeah, especially because I can shoot on weak spots and charged arrows, so she can deal lots of damage. She might be the most interesting archer I've seen until now. When characters affected by the wind sequence very prayerful winds benefit deal Animo damage using normal charged plunging attacks, elemental skills, or elemental bursts to opponents. They will gain the Hurricane Guard effect. This damage will be increased based on threat of her base attack. Yeah. She has hyper carry potential. She definitely has she's not a crit hyper carry, but the fact that she can increase her own damage, she can reduce the resistance of enemies. She has a really crazy kit. She's a 4-star character, right? This would be a 5-star character. This should be a 5-star character based on the build. I don't know, do I want her? I can replace Amber with her. I mean, I need an archer anyway. Okay, let's assume I get Miss Lawyer and I get her. Which is possible. Like, I'm going for 2 votes. The problem is I have too many characters. I can only have 4 characters in my party. That's the problem. I'm going to replace Amber with Yanfei if I get Yanfei. But that still means I need an archer. Now, having a fire main character and then investing into an archer, which is also fire but not your main party member, is wasteful, right? So, in best case, so if I get Yanfei and I have to replace Amber, then I'm probably switching to Kolei as my archer. However, if I'm completely lucky, right? I don't know how high the chances are, right? But getting 2 characters, let's say I can only get one of those 4 characters, right? Because one role is 4 different characters. But I can get her, both of them on both roles, right? So let's assume I can. So the mean technically 25%. Let's assume there's a chance to get is 25%. This getting both characters is 25 times 25 is it's yeah, the chance is 6.25% to get both of them. But it doesn't really matter. Because if I get any other character, if I get Rosaria, I can make Rosaria stronger, which is fine. I am currently invested into getting all of those 5 characters. Funnily enough, Wanderer is the one character that I'm least interested in right now. But before that, he was the character I was most interested in. That's funny. Okay. Great. Okay, let's no. Let's take a look at Yanfei just because I've taken a look at everyone else. Shoot fireballs. It's a 3-hit combo. Charged attack. Wait, charged attack. Charged attack stamina cost. Scarlet Steel stamina consumption increase. Okay. Okay. She is a charged attack damage dealer. I do have. There are artifacts that are specifically for bow and catalyst charged attack. This increases the damage of her charged attacks. So she can deal lots of damage. Yeah, she also has hyper carry potential. Lisa doesn't really have hyper carry potential because I don't know, she's more like the AoE type. Her ultimate is a supportive ultimate. Her elemental skill sucks. And her base attack is just exists to apply elemental reactions. But she can deal lots of damage. If I use Lisa's ultimate, then I can switch to her. Can do some overcharged with her base attacks, which deals lots of damage because of overcharged, and scale and does give her seals, which then can be used to make a really powerful charged attack. When Yanfei consumes Scarlet Seals by using a charge attack, each Scarlet Seal will increase Yanfei's pyro damage by 5%. This effect lasts for 6 seconds. When a charge attack is used again during this effect, it will dispel the previous effect. Okay, so 5% damage for 2 charged attacks. She has 3 seals by default. I assume she can get a 4th or maybe even a 5th seal. Which would be straight up 25% more damage. That's crazy. That's more than... So currently, she has 3 seals. means 15% more damage. That's on the same level as the fire set, the 2 bonus of the fire sets. When Yan Fai's charged attack deals a crit hit to a crit hit, she's a hyper carry. She's definitely a hyper carry. I definitely want her. Until now, I just wanted her because of Fire Mage, but now I want her because of damage. She will deal an additional instance of AoE pyro damage equal to 80% of attack. This is... Okay, it is not as much as weapon bonus, because weapon bonus are like 200%. But this is every time she does crit. Damn! What am I going to play on her? Like, what artifacts I'm going to use on her? She can use pyro artifacts, she can use charged artifacts, and she can use crit artifacts. That's crazy. I mean, and then attack artifacts too. Also, resources unique to Lero is not bad. It's not something you want in endgame, but for now this is great. It's similar to Wanderer's ability, but this one is better than Wanderer's ability. Damn, okay, I kind of want all of them. Okay, let's see, what do I get? So, who am I more interested in? So, I'm less interested in Wanderer, so I will go for the Wanderer one first. I got King! I mean, I got a 5-star character. Can't complain about that. Is this King or? Yeah, this is King. Oh yeah, she was my third 5-star character I had. I forgot about that. I had more than just wind 5 stars. She's also a hyper carry. Electro Infusion. Okay. Hurls a lightning stiletto that annihilates opponents like the Swift Thunder. When the stiletto hits its target, it deals electro damage to opponents in a small AoE and places a stiletto marker on the spot hit. Hold to adjust the direction in which the stiletto shall be thrown. Stilettos formed by the hold attack mode can be suspended in midair, allowing kicking to jump to them when used Stellar Restoration a second time. Right. She is a movement-based character, which makes her really complicated to use. If kicking uses Stellar Restoration again or use a charge attack while its duration lasts, it will clear the stiletto mark and produce different effects. If she uses Stellar Restoration again, she will blink to the location of the mark and will unleash 1/ attack that deals AoE electro damage. When blinking to a stiletto that was thrown from a holding attack, kicking can leap across obstructed areas. Obstructing terrain. If kicking uses a charge attack, she will ignite a series of thundering cuts at the mark's location. So she also might have a charged build. Ultimate kicking unleashes the power of lightning, dealing electro damage in an AoE. AoE. Sorry, I'm pronouncing that half German and half English. AoE. She then blends into the shadows of her blade, striking a series of thunderclap blows to nearby opponents simultaneously. That deals multiple instances of electro damage. The final attack deals massive AoE electro damage. After recasting Stellar Restoration, while at lightning state is present, Kikin's weapon gains an Electro Infusion. It doesn't say what Electro Infusion does. I assume it will makes her deal electro damage instead of physical damage. When casting Starward Sword, Kicking's crit rate is increased by 15% and enemy recharge is increased by 15%. Lasts for 8 seconds. 50% more crit. It's more than Rosaria's. Rosaria's elemental skill gives her only 10% crit chance. Okay, let's go for this wish. What? Okay, I think I have a highlight. Oh my god, what the fuck? Mokka. Oh my fucking, I have to show this to Mokka. Oh my god. I am the luckiest fox alive. Mokka is my best friend. Okay, so I don't know if someone watches this, but to understand what's going on, Mokka is like my best friend, and like he jokingly says always that I am a lucky charm or something like this. Like to be honest, I want to end this recording session, cut this together, where I tell I want those two characters, right? If I get those two characters, I will use both of them. Then cut this together, showing I've got both of those characters in one drawer. Getting both of those characters in two drawers has 6.25% chance, assuming you can only get those five or four characters, which is not true because I got different characters. So the chances to get them are even lower than 6.5% in two rolls. I've got them in one roll. I'm I have to do some cutting. See ya in the next episode, I guess.